Welcome, our lovely future humans, to a late IHP show with your 5D mystic, honoring still our lovely 8-8 portal, the Lion's Gate portal, ascension energies, and our oversoul. So if you are doing the spiritual inner growth, your oversoul expands you, which is why I'm sure you notice 3D, 4D mystics, maybe 4D. I mean, really, they fluctuate between the two frequencies, but essentially, the best way for me to put it, they don't realize that there's two types of embodied brain people. The ones who are not emotionally available, and therefore they're looking for Tom and Jerry as their idea of what love is. Unrequited, there's revenge, there's envy, there's spite, there's bad energy vampires, there's all these names. You know, I mean, I don't like immature, emotionally speaking people either, but I don't go shaming them. And when we talk today about the whole good and bad, that's the part of where people who are grown-ups and want to use the word, yes, it's very bad to have an ignorant human being not recognize that if we have individuals who have yet to take ownership of their embodied brain, and therefore they're 1-year-old, that they won't know what true love is because they don't know how to love themselves first. And then they don't know how to say it'll be okay when you get rejected. As a 1-year-old, and a 4-year-old, and I got rejected at 4. So I've had good practice, but again, the 5D collective, the future humans, they're all practiced in being sovereign with their emotional plane. So our oversoul, they are the ones who help us to expand, but who chooses the spiritual inner growth? It can be personal growth. You don't have to use the word spiritual. But as a mystic, obviously I'm thinking you believe in mysticism a little bit, and I am the woo-woo pseudoscience lady, not the pseudo-intellectual. I like to point that one out. The academics, I told you in our 8-8 portal, they're the ones who introduced me to what pseudo-intellectuals are, not the day-to-day human beings on YouTube. No, the academics. And I love academia. I just chose to help people the fast way by getting a bunch of self-agent sovereign people who want to do mindful mindset together. Some are paid, some are free subscribers, and some come for the lives and then they stick around, and it's really wonderful. I love YouTube and TikTok lives. They're really fun. So we didn't get any today, but we had a couple the other day. They were really fun as they came around. So with ascension energies, that's how it works with the spiritual inner growth people. So you own the body and connection. This is very important because my body's neuroception is that I am safe to be Maria. And I'm not unsafe if you don't like me. When you reject me, it's okay because I will understand what it means to be disowned, since I was an 8-year-old who got disowned. So when you have the capacity to be grown up and not say rejection is protection, but what is true love? Let's see. So true love, even as a teenager, I knew what it was. Death do part, sickness and health, for better, for worse. And then I learned polyamory love too, and monoamory. Don't think some. Well, see, it's not the words. No, it's the part about, do we have emotionally mature, mentally mature, physically mature future humans? If we do, then it's cool, because as you grow up, so as a teenager, I was introduced to monogamy as the only way to be. But I always thought I love all people equally, and when my teenage boyfriend broke up, for example, as not like I want to fuck him still. No, not at all. In fact, it took many years before we finally could become friends again. And I'm like, wow, thank goodness. Finally, they know I'm not into wanting to be back with them. And then you meet tarot readers who say, if your ex writes you, don't think they don't want to fuck you. And it's like, why? Why? Don't you know how to get over things? Okay, so emotionally, mentally, physically mature, functional child adults, we are able to, it's not you get over it in a way of being detached. It's that you process the sadness because the bonding happened, then the change happened. I, in fact, like to share recalibration. So your oversoul, when you're spiritually expanding, grows you. And that's why since 2005, yes, 2007, I was able to expand. My spiritual experiences began. So I moved beyond Jesus, God, Holy Spirit, and my faith grew stronger. Although the ones in cloaks don't think that mystics and spiritual ones and all of us should be together because they think we're going to let bad juju in somehow. So when you meet ignorant, mediocre minds, you know that they have a left brain. They don't use the right together, and then they don't notice that they're really not able to own their sense of self. And when you own your sense of self, it's called personality patterns, Maria's temperament, attachment, all of it could be disliked completely. In fact, self-acceptance means you could tell me I'm a bitch, witch, evil, all of it, and I'll be like, shoot, should I go now? That's how confidence feels. With equanimity, it's light, lightning, love, and it's in your ventral energy. It's really fun as I'm continuing to embody the mastery of the physical plane as an Akashic record reader. Translation: restorative embodiment, self-aware, accountable, regulating people who become resilient because they use the mindfulness mindset practices either with me or just on their own. I was using it without the word when I was a kid. Teenage boyfriend didn't, break me, and this is the part of where the people who like to share my stories will let you know how indifferent I was. And indifference is not because I didn't care. It's because I understand what it means if we're not compatible. I have an amygdala in my brain too. And in fact, my 14-month-old alerts me to future humans. And then it alerts me to remember that please appeasers, attached criers, collapse submitters, people who don't go to therapy, yes, they come out of the woodwork because they're wearing a mask to please appease. The attached cry, you reassure them you're not going anywhere, and then finally they actually are able to handle it. And then we have the collapse, submit, you just lift them up and say, look, I can lift you up only so many times. But the please appeasers, the reason they come out of the woodwork is because they actually are faking it. And then all of a sudden their opinions come out for the real deal. And then you're like, wow, you lied to me the whole time. That's how it feels when you're an unmasked self-agent who's sovereign since you're a kid, and then you have to remember my oversoul, my facade friend. I'm sharing stories so you can understand what an oversoul is. It's all the people in your life. My oversoul, my facade friend, I yelled in his face. I actually waited till we got in the car because I wasn't about to start yelling at him when we were in a group where I find out again he lied to me. This is a friend I did not speak to for 5 years. Thanks to him, though, I didn't behave like a buffoon in other circumstances. Because, see, that's what sovereignty and self-agency means. It means you don't want to be a buffoon. And when you have been a buffoon, you think, okay, I'm so happy that I got to master not being a buffoon with the very same people that... Does anybody know what emotionally immature people want? Yes, so they all want love, but they don't want to do the work. Do you know what a self-agent sovereign person is? It's a person who knows how to respect themselves and another with the differences. You don't make any of the other soul age groups have to move into the enlightenment soul age group. You don't make 3D, 4D have to be in the 5D frequency. You don't obligate anybody to be an embodied brain with the body in ventral vagal state because you can't make them love themselves first. You can't make someone self-aware, accountable, regulating, and then notice that they are loving Tom and Jerry, and a lot of teenager stuff is what I call it, unrequited love. It's like emotional, immature people. Eric Fromm is the first man who I met who loves the way I love, and it's a verb. In fact, I said, see, finally, a smart psychologist. No, is a smart human being. I didn't know he's also a psychologist. And now I have another smart mental health professional. I forget what his actual title, like all of the titles, because there's too many words to remember, but Dr. Daniel Siegel, our self is a verb. That's why those who are sovereign and self-agents, we don't feel changed, because nobody can actually tear you apart. Now, your oversoul, when you got Kali, you're going to get a Shiva, and then you're going to get also Krishna Lila. And that's the moment of truth, though. An empowered feminine will always know that all of that, which is our oversoul, and empowered masculine too, because we're doing spiritual and or personal inner growth, will allow us to become the best version of ourselves. Do you know why? Who chooses what to bring forth? Kindness and kindness. But it's once you have taken off the mask. So you have to be a functional adult bare minimum with a person like Terry Real or Patrick Tian. Once your inner child is being tended to by you, mystic, spiritual, and mindful, you're oversoul. You're going to be like, wow, I got to be able to love myself first, get myself into good relationships, and that's why we get to grow a community that inspires human potential. Mystic, spiritual, mindful, living, loving. Have a great 8-8 portal. We like to expand love and fear. We need it for dark matter and dark energy and asteroids and, our bears and all that. So we talked about it. If you want, you can tune into the messages. It was really fun. Our 9th chakra is expanding. So thanks for joining us. Like, share, and subscribe. You can become a paid subscriber, free subscriber, live subscriber if you like lives on YouTube and TikTok. Have a good one.